Hi, I'm Lindsay with My Better Batch, and today we're going to be talking about fat. Actually, said a more eloquent way, we're going to talk about butter. Butter is a key ingredient when it comes to cookie baking, but did you know that the temperature of your butter actually directly impacts not only your flavor, but also your texture and the structure of your cookie? Most cookie recipes are calling for softened butter, but what does softened butter even mean? Well, let me show you. Perfectly softened butter is about 65 to 67 degrees. It's not overly shiny in appearance, and it gives slightly when you press your index finger into it. It's not too melted and it's not too firm. Let's just say for cookies, softened butter is the Goldilocks of butter texture. This is the texture you're looking for to cream well with your sugars, and it'll give your cookies a nice, fluffy texture. Why is this so important anyway? Well, if your butter is too cold and firm, it will be really tough to cream with your sugars. Using a butter like this will yield a denser cookie that doesn't spread very well when baked. On the other hand, if your butter is melted, your cookies tend to be very chewy and flat. Cookies made with melted butter will spread. We've all had a sheet of cookies that went into the oven as 8, but came out of the oven as 1. That's likely the result of butter that has been melted rather than softened. Typically, to soften butter, it's taken out of the refrigerator about 1 to 2 hours before you plan to bake. If you're like me and completely forget to do that, here are a couple ways that you can soften your butter so you can spend more time baking and less time waiting. Up first, the rolling pin method. This is pretty quick and easy. All you need is 1 rolling pin, 1 resealable plastic bag, and of course, butter. First, we're going to place our butter into a plastic bag and seal it. Then, we're going to use a rolling pin to pound the butter until it's spread out and about 1/4 inch in height. Once you're done, you're going to have something that looks like this. At this point, it's going to be really easy to bend. Just let your flattened butter sit on the counter for about 5 minutes and it'll be ready to use for baking. Method 2 uses heat under a glass cup to soften the butter. This method takes about 10 minutes, but it's pretty easy and hands-off. What you'll need is a tall, sturdy drinking glass, some boiling hot water, and you guessed it, butter. This is really quite simple. You're going to take the boiling hot water and pour it into your glass. Let it sit there for a few seconds to heat the glass up. Once the glass is nice and hot, you're going to pour it out. But definitely don't grab it with your bare hands like I did the first time. Stand your butter up, exposing nearly all the surface area, and place your glass down over the stick of butter. You'll let the butter sit inside this warm, moist glass for about 10 to 12 minutes until softened. After about 10 minutes, remove the cup and your butter will be nice and soft. You can see that it's not too glossy or greasy on the outside, and it has a little give when you press your index finger into it. Method number 3 uses steam from your microwave to create a warm, moist environment to soften up the butter. I call this the steamy microwave method. For this, you'll need 1 mug, a microwave, and of course, butter. First, we're going to fill the mug with water and place it into the microwave. Next, you're going to heat the water long enough to get it hot. We want the hot water to create steam inside the microwave. Once we've done that, then we'll trade the mug of hot water for the stick of butter and close the microwave door. Let the butter sit in there for about 10 minutes, but be sure not to turn your microwave on during this time. So we just pulled our butter out of the microwave. It sat in there with the steam of the hot boiling water for about 10 minutes, and we've got a perfectly softened stick of butter. So here we've got all 3 ways, whether you want to use boiling water on the stove, use your microwave, use your rolling pin and get a little bit of that anger out. Either way, any way will do just fine. Personally, I like to use the boiling water from the stove in the glass. While I'm getting all my ingredients together, I just place it under that cup and that works really easy for me. So we've talked about 3 ways that you can soften your butter quick. If you have a method that you use in your own kitchen, we'd love to be able to hear about it. Please make sure that you post it in the comments. And as always, be sure to give us a like and subscribe.